Wendy Williams is currently trapped in a conservatorship.
Wendy, are you incapacitated?
Hell no.
I am not cognitively impaired.
She claims the conservatorship is retaliatory when she speaks out against them.
I don't know how much I can talk without being punished, stuck in this prison I'm in for the rest of my life.
What if they take my phone? I won't be able to talk to anybody.
She says that the place that they're keeping her is in New York, away from her family.
My life is like up.
Wendy Williams is speaking out, but she won't be speaking for long. Her team is fully prepared to continue drugging her and isolating her in a facility with guards surrounding her every move. It is disgusting because Wendy's finally advocating for herself. She's speaking out about Diddy, and at the same time, she has to plead for her freedom. So let's get into it. Now, we've been talking about Wendy Williams' guardianship for months on my channel, and now she's finally speaking out. I cannot stand her current guardian, Sabrina Morrissey. It doesn't seem like she cares about Wendy's well-being, in my opinion. It takes me back to the Free Britney days when her father was drugging her and forcing her into facilities she didn't want to be in. Kind of sounds like what Wendy Williams is talking about. Why Wendy Williams, someone who has been so successful, saying that she feels like she is in a prison because she's trapped in this luxury facility that Sabrina believes that Wendy belongs in. Now, Wendy has done several interviews. She talked to The Breakfast Club. She also spoke to Don Lemon, which shout out to Don because he was so nice to me when I met him at the Spotify party. But I want to go ahead and play a clip of this so you guys can hear what Wendy's explaining in her own words.
Wendy, are you incapacitated?
Hell no. Look, Alex, please address what has been going on with me. Alex, by the way, has actually been here, right here. She flew from Miami to New York, and she's been right here, and she sees the people. She sees the look.
Okay, Wendy, I'm going to ask you, slow down. Okay, slow down. You don't believe you're incapacitated. The guardian has said you're incapacitated permanently and that you have dementia.
Yes, and
frontal aphasia.
You know what? Listen, and I don't know how much I can talk without being punished. You know what I'm saying? And I won't be able to see my dad, and I won't be able to, do anything, and I'll be stuck in this prison I'm in for the rest of my life. You understand what I'm saying?
It is so sad to see that Wendy's being told who she is, what she can do, who she can speak to, and where she has to be. When it comes to a guardianship or conservatorship, this is when that person's rights is completely stripped. They literally have no ability to go and make choices for themselves or to access certain funds. And in some cases, this is necessary for people who are disabled or something along those lines. Wendy is not at that point. I mean, she's speaking pretty clearly. One person wrote, she can't slow down because she's trying to get out as much as she can before her ability to speak is taken away. Another person comments, she wants to talk privately. That is a scream for help. Don Lemon, if you have any type of connections, help her. Now, as I mentioned, Wendy also called into the Breakfast Club for a radio interview. Wendy criticized the guardianship system on the show and said that she was experiencing emotional abuse. The system is broken. This system I'm in. Now, you may hear Wendy mention Alex, who is her niece, and she's been an advocate for Wendy's rights and someone that Wendy can rely on to go and pass along her messages. She said, my aunt sounds great, according to Alex. I've seen her in a very limited capacity, but I've seen her and we're talking to her. This does not match an incapacitated person, like what Sabrina's trying to say. Alex says, this is the reality. This has been our lives, but specifically her life. She can call us, but we can't call her. That's been the reality since 2023. That room she's sitting in, she's in there every day, all hours of the day, every week, every month. She's not getting proper sunlight. I went to New York in October to visit her, and the level of security and the level of questions that there were in terms of who I am, why I'm there, and what's the purpose was absolutely horrible. So it's like literally visiting an inmate. How much personal information is floating around about you online? Old addresses, phone numbers, and possibly sensitive data. Now, I'm not trying to scare you guys, but if you've ever Googled yourselves, you'll see how vulnerable you could be. But today's sponsor, Aura, is here to save the day. Aura is a comprehensive digital security app that protects your identity, finances, and devices all in one place. So by using Aura, you can go and remove that data that's on these data broker sites, and it's unnecessary necessarily there keeping you up at night, at least keeping me up at night, because I don't want people after me. They can also monitor your credit and your social security number for potential breaches, and even lock your credit file instantly to stop fraud. What's nice about Aura is that I'm going to hear from them first if my information is out there before I even hear from the banks. But that's not all, because Aura also offers a VPN to keep your browsing private. It's like having a personal digital bodyguard. So stop leaving yourself vulnerable to data breaches. Go to my link at aura.com/Sloan to get a 14-day free trial. Go ahead and sign up, see what's out there about you. You're gonna be surprised. Thank you, Aura, for keeping us safe and for sponsoring this video, and enjoy.
She says that the place that they're keeping her is in New York, away from her family in Florida. Her room just has a bed, a chair, and a TV. She can't receive calls, she can only call out, and she doesn't have access to the internet. She claims the conservatorship is retaliatory when she speaks out against them.
What if they take my phone? I won't be able to talk to anybody.
Don, look, my phone is with the guardian person. You know what I'm saying? The phone that I'm talking on is a phone where I can call you, but you can't call me. I've never heard of a phone like this in my life. Anyway, it's good to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you. They didn't take your phone after this interview you did with Charlemagne, did they?
Listen. Look, my life is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I've been with this guardian person for 3 years.
Remember, it was in February last year when Wendy's team gave us an update saying that she had aphasia, she's got dementia, that she's falling apart. And it was really unfortunate to hear this news and to pair it with that documentary that came out where Wendy was clearly struggling. Though Wendy claims that she is fully cognizant, despite her team announcing last year that she had been diagnosed with these conditions, which also, did she get a say in whether they get to go and release this information, or was that just planted in the media? Almost like they knew what they were doing was wrong, so they're trying to set the scene so the public can understand why she's locked up and to agree that Wendy's not doing well, she's incapacitated. Well, now she's standing her ground. Wendy even asked, like, do I seem that way? God damn it, I'm not cognitively impaired, but I feel like I'm in prison.
Wendy Williams is currently trapped in a conservatorship. If you don't know what a conservatorship is, it's when someone is in charge of making decisions on your behalf, but usually because the conservatee is not able to make decisions for themselves. Wendy can make her own decisions. She is not cognitively impaired.
She definitely can, and she's so opinionated, which again is another sign that she's there. She's not, her personality is not gone.
Not incapacitated. She is being taken advantage of.
Right.
Wendy, tell us what's going on.
Well, first of all, to start with, I am not cognitively impaired. You know what I'm saying? No, but I feel like I am in prison. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know whether I'm
Even the way that she's speaking is so clear.
allowed to fly to Miami to say happy birthday to my dad. Like, I'm exhausted thinking about, what if I can't see my dad for his birthday? You know, at 94, you know, the day after that is not promised. It's not promised, you know.
That's so sad. Like, she's being isolated from her family. She can't even, like, go and visit her father, who's 94. Congratulations. But for his birthday.
I want to give my dad some sort of fragrance, you know. I want to go to Sephora and pick and choose. What? My life is, like, fucked up.
That literally makes me want to cry, because that's such like a simple thing. Like, I want to go and buy my dad a cologne from like Sephora and give it to him for his birthday, which would mean so much to him and mean so much to her. And she can't even go do that. That is so simple. Wendy made other claims too, that she can't receive phone calls from loved ones and that her only consistent interactions are with people who are nursemaids that give her pills, that feed her pills every single day. It reminds me a lot of what we heard Britney Spears go through, where she was being drugged with lithium, which will make someone become like incapacitated at some point. So if Wendy's not doing well, it's probably the people who are supposed to be taking care of her. This headline reads, Wendy says she has no idea what 7 pills she takes daily in treatment. Wendy's not happy about the medication she's being fed. And this is wild, because I mean, I think if Britney had the same opportunity to go on a radio show and do what she did, she would go and bring these exact things up too. Where am I? Okay, you have to get the keys to unlock the door to press the elevator, go downstairs, she says. Second of all, these people here, everybody is like a nursemaid, so to speak. They come in, they give you your pills, and then they leave. I've had 2 pills my whole life. There are 7 pills that she's taking now. I have no idea what this pill is doing. I have not been a pill person in a matter of a long time, to a point where, excuse me, doctor, can you tell me what this pill is for. Of course, this is rambling in Wendy's fashion, but she's alluding to the fact that they're just coming in and giving her things and she's required to take them. And it doesn't sound like she's being properly vetted or explained to what they're for. Wendy says, for the last 3 years, I've been caught up in the system. This has been 3 years. And it is truly a system. It's called the probate courts. And that there's a lot of really dark history when it comes to the probate courts. I believe it started within slavery. So that kind of, that could speak to exactly what's going on when these people feel like they are imprisoned when they've not committed a crime.
Presently, right now, I'm in New York at this place, and it's not to say horrible things about older people. It's just that the people that live here are in their 90s and their 80s and their 70s. And I don't know, maybe they're 60 like me. I can't tell. People are in wheelchairs. Some people aren't in wheelchairs, but they walk very... Listen, clearly they are not of my sound mind and body. This is not an apartment. I don't even know what you call this place. I don't even know what you call this place. This is an old age home in New York. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Where people, bring you your pills, where people, the door is always, just knock on the door, I tell them. Don't just come in here. You understand what I'm saying? And all I have are the things that I have from storage, while my apartment has been sold, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So all my clothing, I have a little bit of clothing, you know what I'm saying? And anytime I go out, it's because I'm going out with the person that the guardian has assigned to me. So if I want to go out, for lunch, you know what I'm saying, then I have got to go with this woman, you know what I'm saying?
Now, Wendy's niece, Alex, wants to get the Free Wendy movement trending, which I think can happen because Wendy is so beloved. She is so missed. We need her now, especially in the times when Diddy is being incarcerated. I mean, I need to hear her opinion. And we're going to talk about Wendy's thoughts when it comes to Diddy, but I do want to quickly talk about the Free Wendy movement. Charlemagne the God said, you cannot hide Wendy. Do not hear this phone call and see in all the news that you're going to take her phone away and isolate her. I think he's alluding to the idea that maybe she could be getting in trouble from her guardian because she's doing this interview, and I wouldn't be surprised if she did. One person writes, this sounds very strange. I wonder if she's being treated the same way Britney was. Is anyone trying to silence her, or is she really impaired? Another person writes, the pills could be making her condition worse. I agree. Someone should explain to her which each of them are for. Maybe someone has and she can't remember. Wendy's family told People magazine that they're unable to speak on her current condition and location as they've been going through litigation, and it seems like Alex, her niece, getting access to her was something very uncommon.
People want to know, how did you end up in this situation? How did the Sabrina Morrissey gain control of you, and how did she become your guardian?
Well, first of all, she's making money from me, you know what I'm saying, and she's supposed to be here to protect me, and this has been going on now for 3 years of my life. Alex, are you listening?
I'm here.
Okay, Alex, please talk, because Don Lemon doesn't understand what I've been going through for the last 3 years of my life. Alex,
and the reason, Wendy, one reason she can't really go in and answer fully is because everything is still so tied up in legal.
Okay.
And so she has to be really careful about what she says. And I get that. We've talked about that. She knows that. So there are just certain details because of the legalities of it that she just can't get into.
Now, when it comes to Diddy, I want to mention that Wendy said, quote, Diddy will go to prison for life, people. You don't know the things I know about Diddy back in the day. Now, she did not elaborate any further, but she has had feuds with the Diddy. He has gotten her fired in the past. They have a long history. She said, you know what? It's about time, people. It's about time Diddy done.
Diddy will go to prison for life, people. You don't know things that I knew about Diddy back in the day, and you want to know what? It's about time, people. It is about time. Diddy done.
Now, Wendy said back in an article in October 2024, what is really weird is that I've been told by so many people, Wendy, you called it, including some people from my family who have said the same. You know how I feel about that? It is about time. To see that video of Diddy attacking Cassie, getting pummeled, it was horrific. But now you have to think how many more times, how many more people, how many more women. It is so horrible. And now we know how many more men as well. Now, Wendy released a book in 2004 called The Wendy Williams Experience. At that point, she expressed resentment for Diddy because of him getting her fired from the radio, writing, the hell he put me through, I'll never forget. But I don't hate him. Though she continues to talk about him and what he had put her through, talking about how he had sent an all-girl group to her radio station to go and beat her up.
Did you get fired for making fun of Puffy?
Yeah, by Hot 97. I had to fight a lawsuit. You know what it all came down to? They
came down to gay rappers. That's what
gay rappers and exposing. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy. And she was on the radio talking all this way back in the day. I've been telling you things for years, but you don't want to hear. So, all right, fine. And I don't understand parents who unleash their kids. Oh, it's just a deeply moving story to me because I know all of the story.
Now, Wendy Williams' attorney, Roberta, has actually spoken out, and I want to make it very clear that this is Wendy Williams' attorney for the guardianship, not her personal attorney. So it's not like she's advocating for Wendy personally, she's advocating for the guardianship, which I'm assuming is Sabrina's side. Roberta, Wendy's guardianship's attorney, says that Wendy is still dealing with frontal lobe dementia, and there's no cure for this neurological disease. Roberta says that's why the NY State Court found her unable to make legal and financial decisions on her own. Due to the degenerative nature of the disease, she will require care for the remainder of her life. Roberta says that Wendy has good and bad days, and it was a good day when she went onto the Breakfast Club, which is why she sounded so normal. Wendy also blasted Sabrina, her conservator, during the call, which Roberta is only representing Wendy in her lawsuit against A&E for the documentary Where is Wendy Williams, but she wants to make it clear that fans should not get happy about Wendy doing these interviews, that she is going to be stuck in this guardianship. There is no free Wendy Williams, and she's going to be under their care until she's dead, which might be sooner than later with the kind of treatment and the life she's living. She's clearly not happy.
You know, Wendy, what's going on with you? We've been talking about this as a family. We've been sitting in this for a while, and you know, I was worried even coming into this interview. I was just on the phone with you, Dawn, before, because I didn't hear from you at the minute, the time that, you know, we said exactly. And it's like that feeling of, was her phone taken away? Where is she? What's going on?
Yeah.
And if we feel that fear for her as family, you know, I can only imagine what she's going through as she sits in this room day in, day out. She doesn't go out unless it's for an assigned appointment. You know, doesn't get the proper sunlight, doesn't socialize with friends. She doesn't have the communications that make sense to live in a world that we're in terms of 2025. A landline phone that can only call out, no one can call her, and a TV. I mean, that has been my honest life for the last year and a half.
And by the way, Don, I order a breakfast or a lunch or a dinner, and I always eat right here in the bed watching TV. I don't eat with these people on this floor. They are elderly people. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, the people who live here, they're nice people. You know, we always say hi to each other as I order lunch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then I always have it brought back to me.
Now, of course, people are sounding off in the comments. This person writes, she sounds fabulous on the Breakfast Club. She sounds amazing. Wendy sounded like the Wendy Williams. Free our icon. This person writes, OMG, Wendy's making a 2025 comeback. And then finally, she sounded amazing on the Breakfast Club. That made me so happy. Now, it looks like Wendy Williams' friends and family set up a $50,000 GoFundMe after the star says that she has $15 to her name. Quote, the friends of Wendy Williams' family, end quote, organized the support for Wendy Williams' fight for independence, hoping to expedite her return from a New York wellness facility to her rightful home in Miami, where her dad lives and her son is at. They're reporting far too long Wendy has faced challenges of being unjustly placed in a guardianship and labeled incapacitated despite her strong will and determination.
Wendy claims that the conservatorship will not let her see her father for his birthday next month. They got rid of her cats without her knowledge, and she only gets a $15 allowance. $15.
What do I think about being abused? Look, this system is broken. This system has falsified, a lot. You know what I'm saying?
They said you're cognitively impaired and you're incapacitated.
Do I seem that way?
Now, the organizers of this GoFundMe claim that the guardian, Sabrina, has severed her connections, Wendy's connections, with her friends and family, leaving her without the support network that she needs. The isolation in New York has made it increasingly difficult for her to maintain strength and resilience. I mean, Wendy's gone through hell. She had her cheating husband who was terrible. He went and got this other woman pregnant, spent a bunch of Wendy's money, then Wendy relapsed, her show fell apart, and she's got a lot of healing to do, and doing it alone in a bougie old folks home doesn't really sound appealing. Now it looks like they've raised about $17,000, so I hope that this is, I mean, it looks like it's a legitimate GoFundMe, and it's really, I mean, so sad to imagine that this woman who made millions and millions of dollars is now with $15 left in her account. We talked about the Wells Fargo situation when it went down in 2022. They froze her accounts, and that ultimately led to her being put into this guardianship.
I only have like $15. You know, this guardian person is keeping my money trapped, so to speak. She has all of my money. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, all of the freedom that I want. You know what I'm saying? And through my money, for instance, I would like to go to Sephora. You know what I'm saying? So what the guardian person does is she will call up Sephora, because that's where I want to go. And then, you know, I'll be able to buy stuff, you know, through my money that this girl, it's a woman, this guardian person. You understand what I'm saying? My money is, look, I have good money. You know, I've worked all of my goddamn life. You know, my thing about being in New York is I want to work in New York until I have enough money and enough of what I've done in New York that it's now time to fly and live in Miami for the rest of my life.
Now, I do want to include Wendy's final statement in her Don Lemon interview. While I do appreciate that she went onto the Breakfast Club, she definitely gave us more when she went and spoke to Don Lemon.
Guardian person will make sure that look, my life is screwed up. You know, this guardian mess is, please, look, I am isolated. I feel like I'm in prison. I feel like, you know, they're trying to control me, you know what I'm saying, and everything that I do, you know what I'm saying. You know, if I chew, they don't even, look, my life is screwed up, you know what I'm saying, and the only thing that I can do for myself is I can keep myself a sound mind and body, you know what I'm saying, you know, that you know, regardless of what, like, I love lipstick, you know what I'm saying, so I have lipstick on right now. Why? Because I always have lipstick. It's not a big deal. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what am I supposed to do?
I'm ready to go and hash this out in the court system. I mean, I think Free Wendy has been a thing for a minute now, but people are really paying attention now that she's speaking out, and we're hearing such a different Wendy than what we saw in that A&E documentary. Nonetheless, there are so many people who aren't even celebrities who are trapped in this probate court system, and I really would love to see in my lifetime this system be like, you know, cleaned out and fixed and maybe ultimately eliminated. I don't think it could be, but my heart goes out to all those people out there who are trapped, isolated, who are imprisoned when they shouldn't be. And it's even scarier when you see like Wendy, who seems to be powerful, find herself in a situation where like the bank and the law and all of her money was flipped around and used against her. Nobody's safe. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.